Good afternoon, everyone. This is May Youssef, and I'm here with Mr. John Zhue, Matrix Vice President, live from Matrix office. And this is our first live Q&A session, as promised. Today's broadcast will be divided into three main parts. The first part is Q&A. We will answer some of the main issues that we've been asked in the past few days. And the second will be news report. And finally, our friend Freya from BitGame will join us to make an announcement about their work. And I think it's going to be a very good surprise for Matrix and BitGame community. So we want to thank all of our community for their great interest and important questions. We've received so many questions and we are overwhelmed by your interest. And today we have decided to discuss three main issues. The first is our mainnet token swap, and the second is our updates on the project development, and the third is our masternodes and consensus and all the questions related to masternodes. Here, Mr. John. First we have been asked, can you commit a date for a mainnet token swap?
Okay, welcome everybody. Today is a great day because it's Children's Day. I hope everybody happy and take care about your family, so we will be successful together. A good question. Matrix will launch a testnet this September, as our commit and our schedule is certainly. Meanwhile, the testing of the token swap will also begin on that time. Each of our community members is welcome to participate in the testing around 3 months before it goes live. The Matrix mainnet network will go online end of December. By the way, on the end of this month or the early next month, we will be push our peer-to-peer code and a beta version of the Masternode election algorithm to GitHub. For the crypto part, we will introduce a new and enhanced version which is comparable with the current standard. So, on the other hand, the English version of the Matrix Masternode is ongoing as we commit. The technical team will provide a detailed explanation in regards to the setup, as well as the configuration for minor verification nodes, but not limited to the why and its benefit. Our value suggestion will be high appreciation and considering.
Right.
So it's, I think about it should be a simple question for Q1 coming up, maybe a limited, complicated, and longest. So. Okay. Come on.
So this is for the main token swap. So as Mr. John just said, we are still committed to our original plan. Our test will be launched in September, and we'll have a 3-month period of testing, and all of your effort and suggestions will be highly appreciated. So that moves us to the second issue, or the second question. Our community has been wondering about our work progress. So as we said, we have a milestone test launch in September. From here till September, what is our main milestones, or what is our new work development that is going to happen?
So this answer should be a little bit complicated, but the longest.
Okay.
For progress update on development, there will be a monthly report that detail what we have achieved, where we are, and what we will be doing next. Our expert will also take time to answer your question from community each week, and we will be present on here. You can follow our current project plan here. End of this month, we will bring you a go-long release supporting multi-machines interconnection and proof of our concept. On end of July, we will be introduce a version which support 32 superloads ringing on LAN, in which the performance of one single machine can reach 1,000 TPS. Design the proposal this will be we put up on GitHub for detail what you more understanding our design.
Okay, so to sum it up, the 13th of June, we will bring a new Go-long release supporting the multi-chain interconnections and proof of concept. 13th of July, we will introduce a version which supports the 32 supernodes running in LAN, in which the performance of the single machine can reach 1,000 transactions per second. So we have already had a prototype that reached 50,000 transactions per second. What about this version?
Yeah. The 5,000 TPS version currently in the validation is based on a version with 3 cluster servers, 2 minor cluster and 1 verified cluster. The front end that will use FPGA's version without the ECC validation. This is because we will use a standard PCIe chip card for the final implementation. As a matter of fact, the major bottleneck on the current design lies on how to achieve a stable network transfer and protocol processing. This is a challenge. We have 2 new experts from Huawei join us. They will take the responsibility for the design on the Intel's DPD case segment. We will expect a module for poor end of July. As you may know, this will animate the use of the special hardware of PGA or Intel processor can help. So you can talk about more detail as you know for the community.
Yes. So to sum it up, until September, we have other milestones going on, and we have new members join our R&D team to come over the technical challenges we might have. And so about the Masternode or the nodes question, a lot of our community were actually very curious, and we've received, I think this issue is the issue that have been asked about the most. How as our mechanism works and how our work is different from EOS, how the mining or the masternoding in Matrix is different from EOS, and how we are decentralized. So I think here we have to get a little bit explanation for how our voting and masternodes algorithm and mechanism happening.
Sure. It may be just not include 2 questions. It may be include 5 questions. So here is a long answer in here, and I try to more detail and follow our experts' innovation and idea, but word by word may be some boring. So I will highlight some keywords on here. And Matrix is designed to have 21 dedicated nodes, which are the agents for transaction processing, different from EOS supernode, totally different. The dedicated nodes of Matrix are randomly selected in every given period. Such a design is to protect the decentralization and fairness in the sense that the probability of a node stating has a dedicated many times over is no. A node has to make a given amount of deposit before it can attend the selection process. The period is about the selection is around 10 minutes. So we protect the fair and protect is random is our key.
Okay.
So we have a list on here, and we list on the GitHub. So talk about how to do this and step by step.
So as we just heard, we are planning to have 21 nodes, and the selection process will be totally random to make sure that the selection process is fair and decentralized. So how are we going to reach the 21 nodes? What is the process or the mechanism that's going to lead us to this result?
Yeah, as the keyword, the random. The code for the random is based on, with the regards that their computing power, the loads are then the synchronized allocated to 32 clusters to maintain the balanced computing power across the cluster. Last, the algorithm iterates inside each cluster. Given a cluster, logs are initially assigned to 3 logs groups in a random manner. The 3 logs in each group will choose a winner node. The selection of the winner can be based on a random function or a compiling such as computing power, communication bandwidth, level collective, or other metrics. These winners will be randomly allocated to 3 log groups, again in next iteration, and choosing a winner again. This process repeats until there is only 1 node left, which will be dedicated node in the current cluster, while all the other logs are the row logs of the dedicated. As there are initial 32 logs, we will have 21 to handle the transaction, and the remaining 11 logs has the audit logs to verify if the 21 dedicated are working honest. So it's our step-by-step 3 key steps on the logs voting.
All right, understood. So we are having 32 clusters within the same cluster. There is a random collation of 3 nodes group, and the voting process goes on and on until we have 1 winning node. And then the 21 nodes, master nodes, are going to be having 11 master nodes to make sure that the delegates have been working honestly. More or less, so like this kind of hybrid mechanism, what does it, how does it differentiate, and what kind of consensus are we using in this mechanism?
Yeah, this answer is based on the last question and related to here. To be honest, to introduce a hybrid consensus mechanism. At the level of dedicated node, the consensus is still POW. It means that 21 delegates will compete for rewards. Such competition is essential to motivate the miners. Meanwhile, the delegate and its roles inside a cluster towards winning the war. To raise its popularity to win the POW by employing more computing power, the delegate allocate the transaction to be verified, and the mining work to the voters. So it's our major thing about that. Then all the logs work together in the current fraction. The consensus mechanism leads to 3 major advantages. It's step by step.
Okay.
So any question?
Yeah, so you just explained this kind of mechanism. What kind of advantages that this kind of mechanism that brought to our blockchain?
Yeah. First, the random work among different logs can be significantly reduced. Secondly, the transaction throughput and the computing power for the POW can be raised. On the third, the Matrix blockchain can be organized as a mass platform offering computing power. So it's 3 steps to protect and make our consensus mechanism is step by step.
Okay. So we always hear that one of our strongest points is that Matrix is actually working for the welfare of the public, as in our mining mechanism and our mining functions are not similar to other blockchains. So can you clarify this some more?
So as I talk about, will be here not just 2 questions. The mining algorithm of Matrix no longer depends on the hash function. Instead, it's based on the trading of DNN as deep neural networks and the MCMC algorithm for Bayesian reasoning is our AI's algorithm. In other words, the mining of Matrix is targeting the good of the public wealth. Matrix is required with a part of opposed machine learning jobs, and the portals will accept the problem formulation DNN module and the trading data. So compared to our master logs. The 21 dedicated logs will fed a post job before the POW computation. Then each delegation distributed its workload to its voters. So which will change the module with the updating. So in case of the training DNS, every voter load will processing a given number of training data and drive a local gradient, which is broadcasting to other loads. These logs will update is getting it in the way similar to the learning algorithm. So the delegate of the cluster that first finishing the training will receive the word.
Okay.
Yeah. So some this answer should be some complicated and more technical.
Yeah.
So we will push all today's answer on GitHub on comic, so you can get more detail about that. And if you have common question, you are welcome. We are patient to answer what your concern. Welcome.
As for our second part of today, is going to be our news report. This week has been really big and interesting. And for the technical news, as we just heard, by the end of this month or maybe early next month, we will push our P2P codes designed based on Matrix Network framework and beta version of Masternode election algorithm. It will be available on our GitHub page. As for the crypto part, we will also introduce a new enhanced version, which is compatible with the current standards. Ongoing translation of Matrix Masternode version is now happening, and technical team will provide a detailed explanation as regards of the setup scheme, as well as the configuration of the miner/verification nodes, including but not limited to the Y and its benefits. Your valuable suggestions will be highly appreciated and accepted, and you can always reach us through all our social media platforms and our community members. And for the last but least technical news, Matrix R&D team just welcomed 2 more experts from Huawei who will be responsible for designing our work-based Intel DB-DK scheme. And that for the technical news. For the business news, I think you guys have watched our last week trip to Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City. We are pleased to again announce that we signed our partnership agreement with IDA, International Digital Assets, providing technology solutions and implementing our first One Belt, One Road project. Matrix will take Laos version 4's project as a starting point to begin to provide technical support and solutions for assets digitalization for some projects associated with the Belt and the Road. Also, we are happy to announce that we launched Matrix Financial, a Hong Kong-based company that will be doing and providing ICO, media, and digital economy services to the public. For the community news, last week again, we had a very interesting and exciting meetup in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Our CEO, Owen Tao, have given a speech about Matrix AI, and we had big media coverage, actually. We were hosted by Vietnam National TV, NAMI TV on the 26th. We had a very interesting meetup for our community and potential investors. More than 250 participants attended the event. You can see the whole video coverage on our YouTube channel. As for the last Matrix community, we are very glad to welcome that we recently added 2 new members to our community from Japan. I'm having a little bit difficulty pronouncing the names right, but roughly Mr. Oho and Mr. Honi Man, Japanese Matrix. Fans can follow Matrix on Twitter at Matrix_Japan or join our official Japanese Telegram group, Matrix_Japan, capital letters. And on my end, I tell all our Japanese friends, Nihon no sobiti no yujin ni atakai kanjei. That's supposed to mean welcome to our friends. I'm not sure I did that right. So last but not least, our third part of today's video will be having our nice friend, Freya from BitGame, and she will be talking to us about their work updates. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you.
How are you doing? So actually, our names, BitGame and Matrix, have been associated and connected in 2 more than one occasion. And we just want to know, like, why BitGames accepts man in the ICO?
Right. Thank you. Because Big Game and the Matrix AI Network are strategic partners in close relationship. We've attended Matrix meetup all around the world, such as in Vietnam and also in London before. So we have strong faith in man because we believe that the value of Matrix token has been underestimated, and their tokens will outburst much larger potential than ETH.
That's very encouraging. Thank you. We've been called a hidden gem on the crypto community, actually. Yeah. So I think like our community would like to know what is the nature of our cooperation between Matrix and BitGame. What kind of steps are we going, or had we already done, or are we doing in the near future?
I'd like to introduce some more cooperation information about us. So first, as you know, that we are developed the IDEX is AIDEX, and jointly with Matrix AI Network is decentralized exchange based on AI technology. BigGame will also list man both in BigGame exchange and also in AIDEX. And BigGame is also a critical composition for Matrix AI Network in this ecosystem construction, and it will be the only portal of Matrix blockchain game ecosystem. And BigGame, as the world's first digital asset exchange for blockchain games, has got solid backup from Matrix and plenty of leading public blockchain firms. BigGame established the Matrix Union jointly with Matrix AI Network and other leading public blockchain to build the blockchain game ecosystem together. So once Matrix blockchain has landed, quite a number of games will be transplanted onto Matrix ecosystem. And the official news with details will be officially released in August, actually. And the last BigGame will also hold an unprecedented game competition with huge bonuses jointly with all the strategy partners, including Matrix for sure. This news is also supposed to be officially released in October.
That's a lot of work. Right. you have a very hot season going on. Okay, so can you tell us more about what is the usage of BGX?
I know that this is a question that many members will be curious about, so I'm going to introduce of that. So first, BGX could be used as commission fee with a special discount when users conduct transactions in BigGame Exchange. BGX holders could also vote for their favorite game projects in BigGame platform. For the top game projects, we also list their tokens in our exchange. And also, BGX could also be used to support game projects in BigGame platform based on DACO. And BGX could be consumed for game props and even rare game items. BGX holders possesses special purchasing rights in games.
Okay, so you just mentioned that you guys are going to be implementing some of your application games into Matrix blockchain. Right. So what about your blockchain games? When will it be released?
It's going to be very soon. We will release the official news about that on June 8th. But before that, I think there's some advance notice. It's about a strategy blockchain game with a story taking place in Middle Age, where players will act as conquerors to establish their kingdoms and expand their territories. There will be official news released later, and there will be some warming up events then. So please remember to pay attention on our official website to receive the latest news.
Okay, wow, that sounds like a cool game.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, so you are going to open the public registration this month. Okay, so guys, stay tuned and stay up to date with BitGame official website to know more about their news. And last but not least, you have been talking about BitGame Exchange. So when are you going to release the BitGame Exchange?
Actually, it's very soon. It's going to be in this month, but with a beta version first, but it's going to be released in this month first.
Okay, wow. So you have a lot of big events coming in June, July, August, October. Right. Going to be very busy. Yeah. Okay, well, wish you all the best. And we are very happy to be working with BitGame and all our really nice and very hardworking partners. So guys, this is it for this week. All the questions and answers of today's video will be uploaded on our GitHub page. And we are very happy to receive more questions from you at questions@matrix.space. And we'll see you next week. Have a good day.